Rise and reach for the stars, wild ones. It's Bernadette. I'm here with the Aries Tarot reading for February 2021. Oh, it's February. It is the month of love. And if you'll watch the overview video, you'll see that all the zodiac signs and the cards and the spirit animals, man, they just all came together to point out that, yeah, really, even if Valentine's Day is not your thing, right? This is still the whole focus of this month is love, relationships, and that's of all kinds. And Aries, you're no oh Lordy, with your hard-headed self, you are no exception. And February is going to be an intense month anyway, just astrologically speaking. And now we're going to add the energy of Scorpion. And the Nine of Wands. Yes, I don't know why I wanted to say swords, but it's Nine of Wands. And so, man, let me just get right into it and tell you what's going on out there in the universe. And then we'll talk a little bit about how, Aries, you won't bruise your little pumpkin head right up there. You keep ramming. Okay. So the Aries motto is, I am. And that's going to be super, super true for this month because your ruling planet, which is Mars, okay, it begins the month with a square to the Sun and Jupiter in Aquarius. Big dreams, big opportunities. They are on the horizon. You can see it all. And normally you would just zing. You would just like go for it, right? But the attempts that you've got to reach out and open those doors, well, they might be met with a little bit of surprising and shocking changes and challenges. Squares aren't bad, right, in astrology, but they do indicate a need to rework your strategy, maybe reconsider your approach. Pushing too hard and trying to climb uphill with this battle, as you are wont to do, as it does come naturally to you, is not really going to work. So it's just not going to yield the same results you normally get or you normally expect. And then you start adding a Scorpion and the Nine of Wands to that. Well, with the Nine of Wands tarot card, in its tarot card meanings, if you take a look at the figure on the traditional Rider-Waite card, which is, I read with my own Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, but it's based on the Rider-Waite system. You're looking at a fella who's just all bumped and bruised, but it's not over yet, right? As like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Bow, bow, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Fabulous. That is the Aries theme song, right? But there's going to be a fine line between really, knocking yourself out because you keep butting your head up against things and pushing forward. So try to look for those boundaries when you're moving ahead, because as we learned in the overview, we're looking at a really intense month and we're looking at challenges in love, meaning it's time for you to challenge yourself to reach out and get the kind of love that you want. Whether it is familial love, romantic love, a love of an animal, of an idea, of a cause, of a business, of yourself, right? And there are going to be some unexpected breakthroughs and surprises. And that's cool when you get to the other side of it. But initially you might be like, owie, 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 right? Okay. So the rules of the game are subject to change in ways you can't anticipate. And that's all thanks to Saturn, the planet of law and order, being in like a tumultuous, radical Aquarius. But that's the humanitarian sign of evolution and progress, and also of those unexpected and sometimes explosive surprises and changes that we just talked about. So rather than frustrating yourself, okay, just try to stay a step ahead of the game. Like, try to be agile and flexible, kind of like Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. Your best bet is to be the sword dancer who can adapt to unexpected changes. As Scorpion guides you, you'll know how to transmute the mental stress you might be facing so that you're not bogged down by heavy emotions and overwhelming mental strain. Now, by the week of February 10th, Mars forms a square with the Sun and Mercury, and it's still in retrograde. Your communications and plans might get, it might be interrupted by unexpected electronic issues or just plain old-fashioned misunderstandings. And we talked about that also in the overview, which is this is the month of seeking higher truths and within the parameters of love. And you definitely don't want to have any plain old-fashioned misunderstandings there. So you want to work really, Scorpions are not that I know of, by and large, they are not, into subterfuge. If they want to come after you, they want to come after you. If they don't want to pay attention to you, they don't want to pay attention to you. They're pretty simple to the best of my understanding. So make your communication simple. Don't try too hard, and be sure that you're trying to stay a step ahead of the game. So like, the famous thing, if you ask somebody, are you okay? And they're like, I'm fine. Pay attention to their microfacial expressions. Is it, yeah, I'm fine? Or is it, I'm fine? Like, I'm fixing to pounce, right? Okay. So also try to minimize your natural defense strategy and energy, because by the time you marry that with Scorpion, yeah, that's going to go badly for you. So don't do it. So by the 13th, you're going to see a shift in the energy, and you might feel like you can breathe easier. The tension's lifted. You can indulge in creativity, fantasy, romance, with more joy and pleasure. Thanks to Mars. It's switching from the squares to a smooth and harmonious sextile in Neptune and Pisces, and that's going to help you awaken your spiritual senses. It's also a really, really great time for you to commune with the Scorpion to enhance your intuition. So even though this loving and kind of harmonious energy continues until the 20th, by this date, Mars will once again have gone square with Jupiter in Aquarius, and Mercury retrograde comes to an end. So expect kind of a repeat of that same, the same conflicts or issues that surfaced earlier in the month. And see, again, using that clear and simple and straightforward communication, see if you can't put that to rest. By the 28th, Mars is going to form a grand trine with Moon in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, though this is considered a lucky time as trines open energy transfer, energy transfer, kind of like it just gets much easier. All that communication, all that, well, the energy transfer just gets easier. The planets and the signs involved will still involve some heavy issues related to finance, financial stability, career, and potentially even health. So there are big changes to be made in that area, but following through with these changes, it's just going to awaken some really, really cool stuff for you, just in all of those areas. Now, when we take a look at just who you are, Aries, you're the Ram. That's your zodiac sign, the I am. And you've got some really interesting metaphysical correspondences that are going to come into play for you this month. So remember that the number vibration of Aries is the number 9. And in numerology, that is, you're like sages. You've got all this wisdom, and you're all about incredible kindness, and you really help others shine their own divine light. And that way, everybody works together with the energy of the greater good to change the world. If that's not a great love, I don't know what is. So what I keep hearing psychically, now that we've been through the astrology and we've talked just a little bit about the, the symbolism and meaning of this, of Aries, what I'm hearing psychically is that there's a cause you want to take up, and you just you're not getting anywhere, or you think you're getting somewhere, and boing, whap your head and you're like bounced back, right? So if there's a cause, like a mission, that's it, a mission. If there's a mission that you're on, not a journey, a mission, just ramp it down a notch, because you're going to get there by planning ahead, like a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout. We're always prepared, right? I know, because I was a Girl Scout, and I am always prepared, mostly. So really focus on, this is your mission. Should you choose to accept it, and then it blows up. That might be what's going on with you a little bit, right? So you do want to accept your mission, and you don't want it to blow up in your face. So just take a step back. I know I'm repeating myself, but the call from the animal allies and the tarot archetypes are like, okay, Aries may have to hear it once, twice, 3 times a message, right? And when that song that he's saying, you're once, twice, 3 times a message. Okay, so moving on with that, something else that's important to know just about the personality traits of personality traits of Aries. Some of those characteristics, they're the day that correlates to Aries, in a metaphysical correspondence. Now remember, the element is fire. The flowers are honeysuckle and sweet pea. The color is red. The day is Tuesday. The chakra is the solar plexus chakra. And as if Aries needed any more fire, its Chinese zodiac sign twin is the dragon. Woo! It's getting hot up in here. So now you add everything coming in from February. And remember, the numerology vibration of February is 2. That's the marrying, the pairing, and making a perfect balance and a perfect harmony, which is really hard to do when you've got somebody that's going to go through, go through whatever, like a bull in a china shop, which Aries is wont to do. Okay, so just to touch very briefly on Scorpion as a spirit, totem, and power animal that brings it all into this. Again, you're pairing another relentless creature with another relentless creature. That is such a courageous thing. And Aries is nothing if not courageous. So the overall, theme of February is to take chances on love. But for Aries, you're so used to taking chances, you might not see when a chance is a little much. Like, I'm a more is more person. If I've got one scoop of chocolate ice cream, there is not a dang reason in the world I shouldn't have 2. But for this time, Aries, during this tarot reading for your February 2021, you please try so hard to know when less is more. And if you just keep going at it, but not like wham, 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 you're going to get where you want to be. Okay, Aries. So I hope that was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get all of this metaphysical madness every month, all through the month. Metaphysical, all day long metaphysical. And, my tagline for all my wild ones is to stay wild. And when it comes to doing zodiac signs, now we've got to stay wild and reach for the stars.